Mike. Nice to meet you. My name's Robin. I'm married and a mother to 3 girls, ages 10, 8, and 4. And we live in Tara. And I'm probably doing life pretty backwards right now. But that's okay. It's working out for the best. I've worked with Care Partners doing community home care for about a year now, and when I'm done finishing up my PSW, I would love to pursue a career in the RPN pathway. Today I'd like to talk about congenital heart disease and defects. It's a pretty broad topic, but I'm trying to put it all into one little video here for you. This means a lot to me. I know I've mentioned before my nephew was born with some heart issues. He's actually had 2 open heart surgeries with the anticipation for likely another one due to the big growth spurt that puberty likes to bring for boys. Also 2 years ago, friends of ours lost their very young son. He was quite the face for sick kids there for a couple years. He was born with only half of his heart that formed properly, and he went through a lot of procedures, and he eventually lost his battle at the age of 7. So it really does amaze me, though, that there are so many different technologies and different, knowledge, and we're always growing in that field, and it's amazing how we can know so much about something and be able to help it only so far, but we push through, and I think that's pretty amazing. Now on to the good stuff. There's approximately 18 different heart defects that are congenital, and of course I can't speak about all of those. There's not enough time for that. Most of the time it's unexplained why a child would be born with a heart defect, but some of the reasons that contribute to it are taking certain medications while you're pregnant, drinking or doing drugs in the early weeks of pregnancy. Often a child that has Down syndrome is likely to have heart defects go along with that. Other things like diabetes or poor dental care can also contribute to having heart problems, and as well as contracting the virus rubella while you're pregnant. Thankfully, we're vaccinated for that. I imagine in some parts of the world, not likely anymore. One disease that particularly caught my attention is Kawasaki disease, and this is now related to COVID-19 with kids. It messes with the blood vessels, and it inflames them, and typically it would attack your extremities, your hands, your feet, then it attacks your mouth, your lips, your throat. But what they're noticing is that it really has huge effects on the heart, and this leads to, unfortunately, a lifetime of making sure that it doesn't progress into anything greater, and preventative strategies to assist that. Now, I know I mentioned that there's about 18 types of congenital defects, but they fall into some different categories. The first one is holes in the heart. This is one of the issues that my nephew had. Cat's helping me out there, sorry about that. This is when there's a hole that forms between the heart chambers, the right ventricle and the left ventricle, or the major blood vessels leaving the heart, the pulmonary trunk or the aorta. These holes let blood that's not very well oxygenated mix with the blood that is, and then it sends a lack of proper oxygen throughout the body, and this can be fatal quite quickly. There could also be restricted or obstructed blood flow, and this means that the blood vessels or heart valves narrow and make the heart work harder, and this thickens the muscle, the myocardium, and it enlarges the heart, which obviously isn't good either. There could also be formation abnormalities. These are abnormal blood vessels or abnormal valves. Some of the blood vessels aren't formed properly or aren't placed in the right spot to perform correctly. Or the arteries or veins might be too small or too large, or the valves don't open or close properly in conjunction with the rest of the heart. And finally, the last defect I'd like to share is tetralogy of Fallot, and it's defined as being 4 defects combined together. A hole in the wall between the heart's ventricles, a narrowed passage between the right ventricle and the pulmonary artery, a shift in the connection between the aorta to the heart, and a thickened muscle, the mitochondrium, in the right ventricle. All of these sound pretty frightening for kids and families. And the information I gathered to research this topic was easy to find, but it was very general, and I believe that's due to each person's situation can have so many variables, and it's common enough, unfortunately. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. I realize I've gone over my time. I apologize. You're doing a fantastic job with our class, and it was a pleasure to meet you, and thank you very much. Have a great day.